Hey, it's Bob, everybody, with this episode of Bob Saget's Here for You. And this is a special episode. I say that every damn time. It sounds so stupid, but it is, because it's another friend of mine, and he is one of my favorite people. He's going to berate me. Our relationship is that he attacks me, and I just adore the guy. I think it's because I'm so self-loathing. But he's one of the funniest people alive. It's Bill Burr. And I would suggest this show is for like 14 and up, just post bar or bat mitzvah. I'm speaking to a 0.8 of the audience right now. But I would say be 15 maybe for this particular one. It's going to get a little graphic, I have a feeling, because that's our relationship. And I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to call up, because the next episode I'll be calling people, so go up to the top there and it has the phone number. Call that, leave a message, and I'll be calling you back and put it on Instagram and Twitter when I'll be calling you guys, so we can have a conversation and have some, I don't know, companionship during this wild quarantine type time as we progress out of it, hopefully sooner. And I'll be here doing this because I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And here I go. I'm about to talk to Bill Burr. So hold on. And under 15's out of the room. Doesn't matter. You're listening on your phone. Just if you're under 15, just wait till you're 17. No, I don't know. Just wait a couple years if you're 11. Don't listen to this. This is I just know what it's going to be. All right, here we come with Bill Burr. So, how the hell are you? You're busy as hell, right?
Yeah, I'm working on a script or whatever. It never ends.
No, it doesn't. And it's interesting because you got to have an output. You're like me. You're a machine. You're a workaholic by choice. And if you can't go out and tour, it shifts things.
I'm not a workaholic by choice. It was just how I was raised. That both my parents worked their asses off. So like, I can only lay around so long before I feel like a bum.
Right.
And because I do work a lot, there's a bunch of stuff in my personal life that's a mess, like the garage, my podcast studio, and my relationship with my wife. No, kidding. This just...
We all turned into Jerry Lewis when we mentioned my wife.
Yeah, my lady. No, so obviously there was a bunch of stuff around the house that I had to get taken care of. And, I'm a sucker for an old house, and I bought this house a number of years ago. And the latest thing I don't know what's going on with the fucking plumbing, but towards the end of the day, it starts making this whistling noise. And I just thought it was air in the pipes. And right. I would flush the toilet or turn on a faucet and it would go away. And now it's more and more frequent. And the guy's going, "Oh, I just think your water pressure's turned up too high. I'll be there in a couple days." And I'm like, well, that's kind of a big thing. If the water pressure is too high, then it could make one of the seals between the pipes fail, and I'll have water damage.
Let me ask you a quick question. I'm not always that technically astute. When you say a seal between one of the pipes, you don't mean an animal. You don't have seals in your walls.
No, I don't. Wow, that's the first pun. I can see why you made so much money on network television.
It's the dad joke.
You didn't even
have time to
see that joke.
No, and
I didn't even see that.
And you didn't even have time for dead air, because that's the only response to that is quiet. And you're good at that. You can stare me down with no response. And I know what I've done wrong.
When I've watched your act, what happened was you did so many episodes of Full House, and there was so many drafts of all of those episodes that all the jokes they didn't use, you just kept and you threw them into your act, and then you just threw F-bombs around them. Like, I think you're living off somebody else's writing.
Well, I think that's accurate, because I have to agree. How do I not agree with you? There definitely was a psychological thing that happened, but and it's not an act. this people say, "Can't wait to see your act." It's like, no, it's a can't wait to see your show. Okay, that's better. My performance,
Yeah.
My what it's like to be humiliated in front of people, but they're laughing at me.
You ever see a subway performer who has like a saxophone and he's just playing those long Coltrane runs and shit like that?
Oh yeah,
that's like what it's like watching your act. Like I feel like you should be sitting by yourself with a little fucking guitar case open. We're throwing change in. No, come on, Bob, you're hilarious. You do what it is. You don't need an act, man. You just get up there, you fly by the seat of your pants. You're an improver. You're a groundling who somehow went into the Laugh Factory and figured out how to make it work. And I know how to make it work with Bob Saget. What you do is you constantly compliment the man about the things that he's doing. And he has such a big heart. And he's such a
I was going to do that to you.
Softy.
No. I'm not that guy. I try to do heartfelt, and then I always come up with some dark gallows crap afterward, you know?
Well, you had a rough time. You came over here through Ellis Island.
Yeah.
You had a really tough upbringing.
Had to change my name.
Gangs in New York.
I had a joke. My name was originally Somosexual, but we changed it to Saget. That's not even. It's not PC.
I like it.
Well, you're a great. See, this is what I do to you. You're such a talent, Bill.
Bob, I agreed to do the podcast. You don't need to rub my balls for the whole thing. So,
that's my pleasure. Oh, it's a 7-hour podcast. I'm doing.
By the way,
I'm pulling.
Thank God
go ahead.
You've thrown your hat in the ring. Thank God you've thrown your hat in the ring. And what a great time to start a podcast during the middle of a pandemic. That's just what we need.
But it's called
106-year-old sitcom star doing his take on babbling into a mic.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Abe Vigoda, and I'm just trying to help the kid across the street has a huge podcast. Anybody, but you started this whole damn thing in 2007, and but I knew you way before then. I knew you from. I mean, you started. How many followers did you have when you started? How many people started listening to you?
I think everybody starts with that first follower. And you just put one foot in front of the other, Bob, and you just think positively, and you just start walking up Podcast Mountain. I think I met you in the 2000s. I met you on I met you on through the Opie and Anthony show.
It was the Opie and Anthony show. It was the Virus tour, and a lot of our friends were on it. It was Tracy Morgan,
Patrice, Ralphie May, rest both their souls.
Louis Black.
Louis was on. Yeah, it was so long ago. Norton.
Yeah.
Dom.
Robert.
Robert Kelly.
Yeah. But you did something, and I'm going to take you back to when you were a child. And how old were you at that tour?
I was 48.
Oh, the always funny Bill Burr. Always. I don't know how you do it. You just flip things.
I just lie about my age, and it's just hilarious.
I don't look 63. I mean, when you look at me, do you think of an aging comedian?
You don't look 60. You don't look 63 until you stand next to your wife, and then I'm like, "Wow, is that an old guy?"
That's sweet. That's very sweet. My wife is in the quadruple decade.
I wouldn't have said that, but okay. I would have guessed that I thought she was late 20s.
No, I was like, she's 40. This is a good.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you told me that because I built a whole backstory when I went to your wedding.
Well, there's a full house. But you go ahead.
I was like, she was 9. She did a guest star. Bob's like, I'm 30. This is too creepy. I need to wait until season 9. You didn't get that far. It got canceled. And then you guys got back together again. Now that I know that she's in her 4th decade, then now it's like, okay.
What's fascinating is that probably has happened in showbiz where people waited, but they worked with the person as a child actor. That's like a scary thing.
Oh, that's definitely happened. I believe one of the big directors in Hollywood history did something.
Oh my God.
Something along those lines, didn't he?
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was a movie called Deconstructing Harry, that Woody Allen made, and he was having sex with. It was a bunch of small movies within the movie, and Kirstie Alley was his wife, and she was a psychiatrist, and she said, "You're sleeping with one of my patients," and he said, "How else am I going to meet people?" So it's kind of like you go with what's incoming. I guess some people.
Yeah, well, that's why I've never understood no employee fraternization, fraternizing, whatever the hell they say. It's like, well, I'm fucking here 40 hours a week, so this is my nightclub. This is where I'm going to meet people. But I draw the line with your adopted daughter.
Yeah, I think that is where you stop it.
At what point do you make the mental switch from, oh my God, this kid is so sweet and innocent, I need to protect him, to like, hey baby, you want to go get a drink?
You want a malted with some kind of liqueur?
Hey,
I had
Bobby.
Yeah.
You've said it before, and you'll say it again. The heart wants what the heart wants. Okay.
I never said that.
You did.
I am not.
That's why you spent 8 years in P-Town in Massachusetts. I remember that. You had to get it out of your system.
I like Massachusetts. If you're going to get that happen to you, that's the place.
It is.
Right around my butt.
Right in your butt with that great accent.
Yep. You know what I keep in my butt?
Hey, Bobby, how about I put my fucking cock in your butt down on the Cape Cod? You can do the Melody tent, and then the next night I can bang you. And you were like, that sounds like a good deal. I'm between Full House and fucking Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, it was a segue, and Bill Blumenrice was filming the whole thing on his flip phone.
That's why he gets you for such a good price every time you come to town. He's got that footage.
And he's always got a new venue that's open. There's that one place that's out that's amazing that Carlin used to work at, that real old place. What's that one?
Oh, the one up in Old Orchard Beach.
Yeah.
That's great. What is that place called?
That just takes you back. Takes you back like 50 years. It's like wild.
Yeah, especially the lack of air conditioning if you work there during the summertime. That's one of my favorite gigs.
I did.
Mean, you make money and you lose weight. It's fucking awesome.
I think that's where coronavirus originated, actually, right in that place.
Absolutely it did. Well, God knows they have bats, and I'm sure somebody up on that beach fucking had their way with one.
Who wouldn't have back then if there was a bat in your belfry? I guess church. Let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with the coronavirus? Do you know what's going on in the world?
I got to tell you, I've maybe watched 6 minutes of the news since this whole thing started. I don't find what they have to say informative. I just think they're saying the same thing over again. They're scaring the shit out of people. Right. All I listened to was what the government said. Stay home, wear a mask if you're going out, 6 feet, social distancing. So I've just stayed home. Okay. I was lucky enough that I saved up a little bit of money for my shit and dick jokes, and I could be one less person out there. And, if you have the means to do that, then by all means do it. I understand all these landscapers and construction people, like, still going to work. And like, I understand why they have to do it, because I had those jobs. I get it. So
what did you do? Did you do landscaping, or were you a builder kind of guy?
I was a grunt. I only made 8 days in construction. I did not have the pigment for it. We were doing roofing, and it was like June or July or something. And I just couldn't do it, dude. I was going to die of skin cancer by August. So
is that because you used tar up there, right? That's the kind of stuff you would do? The whatever it's made of that. Well,
I didn't have the mop.
Right.
I wasn't in Shawshank Redemption. Jesus, I'm not that old, but no, it's just
you ever wake up in Shawshank? Do you ever wake up in the morning with like rice coming out of your mouth? That happened in there, didn't it? No, that was the Tom Hanks movie. I got confused. Shawshank.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
What was the Tom Hanks movie where such a good actor and he passed away? There was this weird ethereal scene, and he was a prisoner, and like rice or lice came out of his mouth at full speed. Famous movie.
Philadelphia.
I'm actually gonna Google, because what the hell? Everybody knows it.
Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, that was it. I was the warm up on that thing.
Splash. Houston, we have a problem.
I was
Neighbors.
Neighbors. I was.
Saving Private Ryan.
You're getting closer.
Sleepless in Seattle.
He's a hero. He's an American hero. Don't you agree?
Adorable guy on the park bench. Whatever the fuck that was called.
The Under Five. I'm thinking of the Green Mile. The Green Mile.
Green Mile.
Did you see that one?
Yes, I did.
And that was Michael.
I remember Patrice O'Neill came close to getting that part, the Michael Clark Duncan part.
And that's who passed away. Both of them passed away. And Patrice, I remember that night after the Virus tour, he always did what he did, which was when he's sitting around with the other comedians saying, why am I not bigger? Why don't people get me? And that was part of the thing that was vulnerable that I loved about him. And it was like being a therapist friend sometimes and saying, look, you're so great. Can't you just accept that people love you? And then you're in your
own. Because there was a lot of self-sabotage. There was all the shit that he was talking about was there, and then you compounded it with self-sabotage. Because if he was built with his talent, if he was built like some other people, he would have been super, super famous, but he wouldn't have been Patrice. He wouldn't have been as good. He wouldn't have had the vulnerability, because there's like certain people you just watch and what makes them. Oh, it's in the Kurt Vonnegut movie. Book, I mean. Remember that book, Catcher in the Rye? Well, hacky thing to bring up. But my favorite part of that book is when he goes down to the village and he's watching that guy play piano, and the guy's great at playing piano, but he knows he's great. And he goes, and that's what ruins it. And it's like, there's never been a truer statement as far as like why some people connect with an audience on stage and why other people do, but only to a certain point.
Right.
And it's like
they're going. So a lot of people are going. By the way, Catcher in the Rye is by J.D. Salinger. Not to put anything in.
Oh, it's not Kurt Vonnegut.
No, he was. Was he?
But Kurt Vonnegut is an author, right? Did he write the Dresden thing?
He is. Kurt.
Who is in So It Goes?
Kurt Vonnegut started Nirvana. He did Slaughterhouse-Five.
Do you know that in So It Goes, that was like a hacky thing for a comedian to, like in the 2000s. These guys in these alt rooms,
right?
They would do a little run and then they would go, and so it goes, and so it goes. Like, oh my God, I'm reading. And it was like, I never wanted to take a fucking mic stand and slam it again. I couldn't tell I wanted to do it to the fucking crowd or the person on stage that you're such a fucking douche that you would say, and so that the tag is, and so it goes, to basically put your shit joke in the realm of a book that fucking good that I can't remember who wrote it. You know,
right. Well,
there really should be a. Bob, I'm going to talk and you're going to listen.
Well, your Monday morning podcast has infected you because you don't. you do talk to people. You don't need another person. It's just you and you get it. What time do you get up? I want to hear the rest of that.
Bob,
no, tell me what time you get up and do Monday morning podcast. Tell me what time.
I don't need you. You know what? You're an asshole, Bob. You're a fucking asshole. Because this isn't even an interview. What it is you're an old man who's jumping on a trend and you don't know how it works.
No.
So you're disguising this like this is an interview. Now, what sort of interface do you use? You know what? This is the middle of a pandemic. I thought we were supposed to come together as Americans.
This podcast, Bill, is called Bob Saget's Here For You. And I've been calling people, and they've been telling me sad stuff. So I've been actually listening, and sometimes I'm funny with them, and sometimes I just want to hear their shit, and they're in pain. And I don't know if you're aware of that, because I don't.
Well, I'm in pain. You want to hear my pain?
I know your pain every Monday morning. And if I ask you what time, I would smoke a cigar with you sitting in the yard of Mike Binder's house and say to you, what time do you start that on a Monday? And you wouldn't go, oh, you're a fucking shitty interviewer. You wouldn't do that to me. You'd go, oh, well, normally it's around like 11 or something. Or sometimes I do it at 1. But because we're recording this.
If I was sitting across from you right now, I'd put my cigar out on your fucking end of your nose.
Are you smoking during this? We're not supposed to smoke. I had a cigar yesterday. It's my first one.
I have not smoked since I quit cigars unless it's like a special occasion. So which is the way you're supposed to smoke cigars, as opposed to 15, 20 a month, which I was doing.
Right. I had one to celebrate that my kids were okay, and it was yesterday that I did that. And well, two of them live in New York, and I'm scared
Bob,
for them.
You smoked the cigar because you wanted to smoke the cigar.
Oh, hell
okay?
yeah.
I know you too well. You're too self-involved. You care about your kids, but you care about Bob Saget first.
That is, you know me. By the way, anybody that's listening to this, the four people now, according to Bill, because I'm a newbie in the podcast world, which I am. You're a full-grown man in this world. You're one of the heroes. You started from scratch. You crawled out of the earth like a worm on a Sunday morning before you got put on a hook, and then a crab bit it, and that's me trying
That was it.
That was it. But I have to tell this before we take a break, which you don't even take breaks, I don't think. Do you have sponsors? What do? You just, all of a sudden, the world just goes to you?
Here we go. This is why you called.
No. Oh, to get the answers? To get the answers to the podcast? I want the key to the city.
Okay, let me just break it down for you. You need at least 50 to 80,000 downloads per episode before any advertiser is going to fuck with you.
Oh, I don't want to hear this. You can text that to me.
That's what you're going to do, okay? And then the more honest you are, just be yourself. Like, you turn the microphone on and you just forget it's even there, Robert. And you just start talking and you live your truth. And
you're Stuart
you say
Smalley.
You say something positive about all these white women who are struggling with being white women in this country right now. And I think you'll make a lot of money.
How are you doing as an Irish male? Is that a problem?
Well, I'm actually offended by the fact at this point that I am a white male.
I am too. I hate being white.
Every morning I look in the mirror and just go, all the stuff that you got that you don't deserve, you toxic piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, I have had more fun during this than I had before this was going on, because there's just something so fucking hilarious to me about that this was supposed to be the big woke movement with people of color and all of that, and then white women hijacked the woke movement, and we're still talking, white people are still the focus. It's just white women now. Right. So nothing has improved for all of these other groups that deserve an opportunity. It's slightly improved, and you're listening to white women who are starring in their own TV shows or movies with awards, given awards, and they use that time to complain.
Yeah.
It's one of
I've been watching some of those shows.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a joke. There's no fucking way that you're living the life that you're living and you're now going to go up, and I have to seriously listen to you. Look, I'm not talking about that Weinstein shit where he came at you with his orange pubes, fucking.
Right. They weren't orange.
Star Wars. I'm not talking about that.
He was my manager when I was starting out. He and Brad Gray were my managers when I was 22. And he never tried to finger me or anything. Nothing.
That's because he didn't think you were going to make it. He was attracted to power.
No, I was the first act that he signed. He was a concert. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take a fast break because I have to. I'm going to tell you about something that I'm interested in, and that's why I'm happy they're a sponsor. It's Policygenius. They are America's leading online insurance marketplace, and their mission is to help people get insurance right by making it easy for them to understand their options, compare quotes, and buy a policy all in one place. See, sometimes you go around, you search on the web, you look for things, you talk to friends. This is all in one place what Policygenius has done. Since 2014, they've helped over 30 million people shop for life insurance, and they've placed $45 billion in coverage. Now, here's a couple facts about life insurance in case you don't get the deal. Life insurance provides a tax-free lump sum of money to your loved ones after your death so you can make sure they're able to pay everyday bills like children's college costs or final expenses or any debts or anything, so they don't go to them. It's taken care of by the insurance. You choose how many years your policy will last. That would be the term. And the amount that will be paid out if you die, that would be the coverage. And something we don't want to happen, but life is life. and insurance is a good thing to have. With everything going on right now, a lot of people are asking if it's even possible to buy life insurance at all. And the answer is really short and really simple. Yes, you can buy life insurance during a pandemic. You can. You can buy life insurance in a wind tunnel. You can buy life insurance anywhere you got a cell signal where you can contact Policygenius.com. And if you have loved ones depending on your income, you probably should buy it. You really should. I have it. And I'll just tell you, as an insurance marketplace, Policygenius is in contact with the life insurance companies on their platform every day. So they're keeping track of all the changes in the market so you don't have to, which means they can get you covered quickly and for the best price. And here's how it works. It's pretty simple. Policygenius compares quotes from the top life insurance companies in one place. You don't have to do this. You don't have to search and destroy and try to find the right life insurance. This does it for you. It takes just a few minutes to compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. So they're finding the best price for you. You don't have to sit there and go, I need the best price. What am I going to do? Put in best price life insurance. You'll be there a month. This doesn't just save a lot of leg work or arm work or elbow grease or nose work. You could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. And once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. I've never actually seen red tape, but I'm telling you, they're doing it for free. So if you hit any speed bumps during the application process, they'll be there to take care of everything. So if you're one of the many people looking to buy life insurance right now, but you're not sure where to start, I'm going to tell you, do it. Head to policygenius.com. There, I said it. Policygenius will find you the best rate and handle the process completely. They'll get you and your family protected and hopefully give you one less thing to worry about. And right now, we've all got enough to worry about. And isn't it nice to have protection? I used to have it all the time, but I don't need it anymore because I reached menopause. Policygenius.com. They're sitting there waiting for you, and they're going to help you and save you time and money. And you heard it from me because I'm the one recording this. Okay, we're back. That's a guy. So let me ask you a question and go back to what I wanted to talk to you about, which is when I met you, and you thought you were fucked. You went up in front of this Camden audience. It was really a Philly audience and a Jersey audience, and we were up at the Tweeter Center or whatever it was called, and you. I thought it was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. And
Bob, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no recollection of what you're talking about right now.
It's the thing that went viral that kind of started your career, and you don't even know it because you don't remember anything except you're a giant success and you have the answer to all humanity. But and I'm just complimenting you.
I know what you're doing. Yeah.
No, I
Bob, I want to know what shade of blue sport coat are you wearing right now?
I'm in sweats.
You're such an old school performer that even in an audio phone call, you dress up like you're doing panel on Johnny Carson.
Please take it back. You just saw what I was wearing. I'm wearing headphones and a T-shirt. How could you fucking lie like this? Look.
But in my head, I thought you were wearing a smoking jacket or something.
Yeah, right. I'm David Frost or Dick Cavett or somebody you don't know because you're younger than me because I'm so fucking aged like a tree. But I met you.
Dude, I'm right behind you. I'm going to be 52 in June.
God, you're fucking older than I thought. Holy shit. How does your wife put up with that?
I make money. That's how they always put up with us old guys. That's how we do it. Okay?
That's our secret.
That's how you keep them around.
Yeah.
This is the deal. Either in life you either find love or you throw money at a woman. One or the other. You got to pick a fucking lane.
Well, I made some mistakes, and I did some of that. Like I was not throwing money, but I was like going, vacations and all this shit. And then I was divorced 23 years ago, and you haven't been divorced before, right? You guys are together for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Bob, is it true that before you made it, you were you were a pilot for the Cocaine Cowboys? Was that true? Did I hear that?
Yeah, I worked for the Contra.
You used to do that drug run.
Yeah.
And fly a twin engine right into fucking Miami.
Yep. And they had to.
What did you?
They fired me because I did so much shit. My teeth were like rubber. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't eat a sandwich. My teeth were literally like rubber. I was like in a Jack Kerouac novel. That's another writer.
One day, I heard you flew for 11 days straight. And they were wondering why they weren't making as much on those shipments as they thought they were going to.
Yeah, that's when someone kidnapped my baby. When I was, they called me Sagetberg. I got nothing. I wanted to. I just wanted the thing that made me love. I know we're supposed to just talk, but I just want to say this because people need to know this. They need to look it up. I think, even though you might not want anybody to see it, but Philly audiences can be brutal, and so can Jersey. And you were up early in the show, and they started booing you, and you just fucking found this creative thing that is kind of, to me, what the roots of what you are. I'm silly nonsense, I'm doing dick jokes, but it's like you said, it's disguised in all the dad jokes that I do. It's like what my dad inherited to me, and it's just kind of Groucho, kind of groaners. But you just fucking roasted them and attacked them. And it was so wonderful. They started cheering. You didn't hear the cheers. You were literally just trying to survive. You got off stage. You were in a cold sweat. I was standing by the monitor. I didn't hear that they were booing. I heard some, but I heard that you were crushing by the end. But it was this slow build. And you were like, oh, my God, did you see that? I went, yeah, it was amazing. And you were bummed. It wasn't the Bill Burr I'm talking to right now. It was the guy that was more like Patrice. Oh my shit! I don't know how that happened. That was the worst thing. I said, no, that was amazing. That was amazing what you did. And you don't remember it. You have no gratitude. You don't even care. You don't care about me. You're talking about me like I'm an old man that just suddenly wanted to jump on the podcast train. I just want to help. I want to make people feel good and entertain them. And I can't go out on the fucking road and do a tour. And I got a new special in me, but I can't pinch it out like one of your loaves that you always have coming out because you got a special every fucking year and a half. You're like this prolific machine that everybody looks at, and you Royal Albert Hall, and I'm just lucky to play any hall, anywhere. I'd be happy to just be in someone's hall.
Bob.
Yeah, Bill.
How did you transition from a cocaine cowboy pilot into a sitcom star? That's what I want to know.
I had been asked to do the job, but I was on a CBS morning show, and I got fired. And then my manager, Brad Gray, said, Bob's available, and Jeff Franklin fired the guy that was on Full House as the father. And then,
oh my God!
I know.
Did that guy ever work again? Did he ever get something else?
He has a career. I feel guilty as shit about it my whole life. I feel terrible about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And then I ended up doing the show, and it didn't do well for a long time, for like 4 years, and then it started to do well. And I was like, oh no!
How do you live with yourself?
I don't. I live with Kelly. I have Kelly's here. I was living with myself. I went through hell, man, and I love doing it. That's the problem. Part of me was like, no, I want to be a good father. I want to show good morals and stuff, and hopefully get the message out.
Let me ask you this: the first time you,
then part of me was nuts. Part of me was going crazy.
The first time you gazed at the beauty that is John Stamos, and you were like, wow, this guy's going to be the star. And then you realized he was also musically talented. He could play drums and guitar. Like, well, I didn't. Is that what first caused your shoulders to start bowing forward the way that they do?
The first thing that crossed my shoulders was his legs. He's my first guest on this thing. And we didn't like each other at the beginning because I was this Jewish comedian who was married, and he was a teen idol who'd basically been with every hot woman you'd ever seen anywhere. And by been with, I mean, not hang out with, just sex. And
you know what's funny? Is that's the same relationship, the cartoon I do, F is for Family, Frank has with his next door neighbor. You're basically Frank, married, locked down. And he was Vic Reynolds across the street,
right,
banging all these beautiful women, had a cool car and all of that. That's amazing. Yeah,
that's accurate. That is so basically the show was stolen from John's of My Life, correct?
Well, Bob, I came on here to confess that filthy cartoon that I do for Netflix is based on your failed existence next to John Stamos.
He was number one on the call sheet. He was the first top billing.
You did fulfill a purpose, though.
So does an enema bag.
you you standing next to him, like enhanced his beauty again, like to a whole other level, and his level of talent.
I was taller.
Just being there.
What do you?
I did like that you tried for a little while to do his haircut. You know, you kind of.
Well, we all had. I had a bouffant, and he had a mullet. So, and then I just went to short hair for the rest of my life, and then one day I can't shave my head like you. I can't do it because I got like dents in it. I got like a coin bank in the middle of it. That's why a lot of
full head of hair.
A lot of Jewish guys wear yarmulkes just to cover up that weird lump. I have a testicle
I always think
in the middle of my skull.
Whenever I see a guy with a shaved head and it's flat in the back, I just think he had bad parents because they just left him as a baby when his head was soft, laying on his back, and he was crying. They never fucking picked him up, and then you just get that flat head.
It could also have been forceps. Some babies were taken out with forceps, and that could have pressed and reshaped the skull. You know, were you?
But you know,
were you a natural birth, or did they cut your? Were you a C-section birth, or did you come out foot first? What'd you do?
My mother, she actually thought she had a tummy ache, and she started puking, and I actually came out orally. She vomited me out. And she actually refused to ackosed my existence until I was like 26.
Is that why you're orange? Is that why you have an orange? So you're the color of puke. You were soaked in puke the first 9 months of your life. So she had just puke in her stomach. It wasn't like embryonic fluid.
Yeah.
You were in her stomach. You were not in her womb.
Listen, if I take anything from this, I am puke color. I loved it. Hey, you know what show I used to always fucking laugh at and think, well, how do people watch this shit?
What?
Is the Golden Girls.
It's funny.
And
it's
Joe DeRosa.
Some people's favorite shows. Some people love that.
It's been telling me forever. It's fucking great. And one day, I think it was the end of the year, I was doing taxes, so I was doing all receipts, and it was on in the background. There was a marathon on it. And I just didn't want to get up and change the fucking channel. And within an episode and a half, I was like, oh my, I fucking love this show. Such a great show.
Well, because you're watching masterful actresses work that have been through everything. They'd been through so much shit, and they were amazing. I mean, B. Arthur.
And all of them had like A-level comedic timing. And the way they would just lob it over for the other person to crush it out of the park.
Correct.
It's just
they
don't make them like that anymore, Bob.
They do make a couple, but they're mostly British now. Most of the great people, a lot of our greatest actors and actresses are older Brits that we can't wait to see.
What is with all you Hollywood people that you always have to shit on America? What the fuck are you talking about? We can go fucking actor to actor, and then we fucking invented movies.
Well, you got Kathy Bates. Yeah, we invented. We didn't. No, the French, the Millier brothers.
Cars. They did not.
Chaplin came over here, and he was a pedophile. I mean, what do you want from me?
That's fucking liberal. That's lefty propaganda. Movies were started in Alabama.
Do you get
Before
angry?
Your goddamn people took over it. What's that?
No, I like this. I actually like this train. No, go here.
Right.
Movies were started in Alabama.
Starting in Alabama.
Right.
Okay. And then all you Jewish folk out there in Hollywood took them from us, took all the goddamn money. And
we had to get away from the banks.
Anytime you make a fucking cowboy movie, it's somebody on a mountain fucking the other one, just rubbing it in our faces.
That's the history of movies. That is the
history of movies.
Brokeback Mountain they did a silent version of it, but if you watch the actual film, it's pretty quiet in some points.
Brokeback Mountain was a slap in the face to every cowboy out there who did what he had to do on a cold night.
I agree. They needed some warmth. They fell in love, and don't think it didn't happen. It was normal for some people. That nobody, they would have.
If your choice is another man or an eagle, it's not gay. Okay? And I think that was lost with most Hollywood movies. Like, the book was so much better.
I read the book backwards. Do you think the bald eagle? Do you think the bald eagle is BALLED? So guys were doing that if they couldn't find another cowboy, they'd ball.
There's no way you could fuck an eagle because they have those talents. Unless you're into that, unless you like your pleasure and pain. I have no idea.
Are you ready for this? America's Got Talents.
Oh boy.
What do you want from me? I talked to Howie Mandel. Would you like Howie Mandel? Because I love him.
Oh, I might have to walk off that last punt. Don't try to bring up a comedy hero so you can walk off your last awful joke.
I did it purposely to torture you. You call me a hack, and I just doubled down.
You know what? I never called you a hack. That's the voice in your head.
No, you told me I was old.
That's the voice of your soul telling you, Bob, you're a hack.
Before I go to bed, that's all I hear. Well, I want to go back to something you still haven't answered when you were vulnerable, which was like 30 years ago. So, the Tweeter Center, that Camden show was 20 years ago? How long ago was that? 20 years ago, right?
That was 1966.
You said 98 earlier because I listen, because I care, because I'm your friend, whether you like it or not.
Something like that.
Right. So let's say whatever, but you were really vulnerable then, and you were like in a sweat, and you were earnest Bill Burr, little Billy Burr, and you were funny as shit.
Wow, dude. This is why I don't talk about that story, because every time somebody tells it, it becomes even better and better and better. I was not vulnerable. I was a fucking angry lunatic. I am more vulnerable now than I was then. I was a fucking lunatic.
Oh, so that's why we weren't friends all those years till 5 years ago when you became a human being.
No. The reason why we weren't friends is because I can't separate the person from their act. The second I saw you on stage, it's just like, I can't remember the last time I had such a lack of love for another human being. I never root for the audience when they heckle a comedian unless it's you on stage.
What about the comics that are just out there and they're just walking around on the stage to market and they're just going through the beats and it's not really funny and they're doing the same rote material all the time? Are there?
Oh, you mean those comics that always existed? There's always going to be that. And,
right.
Those people, I always look at those people like that. Then this is just something that they're figuring it out, because there's a lot of people that is stand-up comics did that and then became great directors or writers,
right,
or substitute teachers. There's all kinds of avenues you could go.
Accountants.
And if you look at you, you know what I mean? You thought you were one of the bad boys down at the Comedy Store, and Hollywood let you know who you were. You were ABC, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.? Wait a minute.
And you know what?
You're not talking the cash machine.
You know what it is about you? You're a super sensitive guy, and I think I've broken your balls enough, and at some point you're going to be saying, your wife's going to have to deal with it. And you're going to be, I think he meant some of that stuff.
No, it's going to be in the subheader for this episode. It's going to be poor Bob gets his balls crushed by the powerful and brilliant Bill Burr and just sits there and takes it.
You said I was puke color. Go fuck yourself.
You said your mother vomited you. I'm just taking the lead. Oh. Now my wife's in the other room. Where's your wife?
She's upstairs.
Do you have a man cave? Do you call it a man cave or?
I call it a garage.
So you're in that garage. That's where you do your shit.
That's where I do my podcast. But right now I'm just downstairs in the house.
It's such a good podcast. And a lot of people aren't listening to it. So I just wanted there's a Monday morning podcast by a little guy named Billy Burr. And he's just so talented. Give it a shot if you can. Try to listen to it. Because my podcast has been around for, it must be 22 years now. But
absolutely.
I hope yours gets some traction.
Well, every day I see you be successful in this business, I know there's hope for me.
I have people are listening. They're your friend. That's who you're talking to every time we do this. Every time I do everything, I'm talking to people like they're my friend, even if it's a stupid thing on Instagram. It's like there's nobody around. I've got to talk to somebody. And, you're a guy that went to my wedding and then left, did a charity benefit and then, or paid, I don't know what it was, and then came back in a different outfit. I think it was a pink jacket. I'm not sure. You had something pink on, right? Was that a skirt?
Yes. Yeah, but it was a whole ensemble. Let's not. No, it wasn't a skirt. It was a dress. It was all one piece.
It was a sweater set.
Yeah, I just had a belt to tie it together, so you thought that it was separated.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And you rode in on one of those, a little scooter. You ride a scooter.
Segway. Segway.
The Segways are great. So you know how many people that they just they stand on it and just flips them over and it cracks their face open? There's actually a default on them.
You know what? Not enough. Not enough.
Every person that has one should just be, you're saying just mutilated? Just their face should just be smashed in?
Well, I know that the CIA can take over like the computer chip in your car. I know this because I go to bars and people tell me this stuff. And they killed a guy doing that. They just sped his car up and sent him into a fucking tree to make it look like a suicide or he was drunk. So I feel like they should do that right now with everybody on a Segway, basically, and just have them drive into people who are still not observing the 6 foot, social distancing and just coughing on shit. So you kill two birds with one stone. You get the fucking douche on the Segway who's just going to become a fat fuck. I mean,
what about the bird? The bird, you have to have some kind of balance to be on that.
What's the bird?
The bird's the one that you can leave anywhere and they come around and pick it up because it's got a chip in it, a homing device thing. Those scooters.
Oh, that scooter thing, yeah.
Dangerous as shit. People are dying on them.
Oh, I would think all the time.
But not right now because people aren't out. Have you been out? Have you been going around?
I go on drives.
Right.
Other than going out to get groceries, I haven't been to an ATM. I went to the gas station. I've been to the gas station for the first time since this whole thing started.
Did you just go there to use the bathroom?
No, I just wanted to lick the digits on the when I punched in my zip code on my credit card.
I licked the glass cage the guy's behind.
Well, I feel like now, because, being a person in the public eye, Robert, I feel like I need to keep myself out there. And the only way to do it is if you actually get the coronavirus. So I've just been trying to lick things and breathe on things.
I think
I have no idea. I'm
sure,
just really,
I'm
very thankful for everybody that has continued to show up to work at grocery stores. People who've driven the food in.
Yeah.
And all those people, not so much doctors and nurses, I just,
it's
they're
unbelievable.
always talking about
they get sick.
Loans
They're getting
and how fucking hard they have to work. It's like, fuck you. You go to work in scrubs. It's like being naked. Okay, give me a fucking break. It's like it's not my fault. You listened to your parents when they said you should be a doctor. You should have lived your dream.
They're saving people's lives, Bill. They are saving people's lives.
I know they are.
A friend of mine, they wanted to put the ventilator on him in New York, and he's a good friend, and he refused it because he saw that some people were doing really bad on it. He got the forced oxygen, and that saved his life. And he is one of the most talented people I've ever known. And that would have been a loss, not because he's a good father and husband, but because he has talent, And that
man's name is
Danny Burston, and he wrote about it. And it was, I think Variety printed this 5,000-word essay he did. And I had read it. And then
I don't understand people that would go into a fucking hospital as a non-medical person. You have a fucking virus, and they're saying you need to be on a ventilator. And then you're like, you know what? I was reading on Instagram.
No, they gave him options. It was all done educationally with a smart doctor. He was, he was in good hands.
Listen, I get it. You said
he's
alive.
Bill, he's alive. He's home. So obviously the right courses were taken. So it's not that he.
Well, you know what? You're alive and you're home.
I think I had it.
Even though you're dying on your podcast.
You pulled this. Oh, you saved this podcast. This thing was gone until you came on and told me what a piece of shit I am. Oh my God. This is the first podcast that's going to have to be sponsored by gauze and, medical tape. Because I've got
ventilators.
I got a razor. Yeah, but sponsored by ventilators. Are you buying stocks? Do you buy stocks? Are you buying stocks on any of
No, I bought a ventilator. I have it on back order just in case I get it. So I can have my own little fucking,
So you use it at home?
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know what a fucking ventilator is. I don't even know what it is. It helps you breathe, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. I don't know how it gets hooked up, but I know.
I let the professionals handle it.
Yeah.
Right? I just hope I never need one. That's all I hope. That's why I stayed inside. That's why I'm staying inside.
Same.
I've been doing the prison workout. Go ahead, insert dick joke there. Go ahead.
Nothing. It's just five guys hooked by the...
you want to say it.
It's a locomotive train of men hooked by penis to butthole, penis to butthole, penis to butthole. The only lucky person is the one in the way back. That's all I got. But
the horror that he has to look at in front of him.
But yeah, that is horror, but not for some people. It's the human centipede.
For some people, that's like fucking looking over the valley watching a sunset.
Well, we can do that right now. Have you ever seen
from a tree stump? What I'm hoping is going to come out of this is that people are finally going to embrace video conferencing.
Right.
So all of these fucking idiots, not fucking idiots, all these poor bastards. Like I knew a guy, and his brother was like a lawyer, like a high-powered lawyer. And when these big corporations would go to buy another fucking corporation in China or something, for some dumb fucking reason, he had to fly all the way out there to meet him, as opposed to just getting on video conferencing at 3 a.m. That's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's better than getting in that stupid thing. And just like, I'm telling you, they like this, the way this is right now, like, I think this is great. People should, if you can, you work from home, you stay the fuck off the roads. You don't have to fly everywhere you go. Like, I'm old enough to remember that, I caught the tail end of like people like, you get on a flight and it wouldn't be like just jam packed with people. That's the one thing that I don't understand with all of this fucking technology that's out there is why is everybody still flying everywhere they for all of these fucking meetings?
Well, that's going to change.
Why do I have to get into a fucking car at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and drive all the way across Los Angeles to pitch a fucking show? Yeah. Why don't we just all get on video conference? I just
did a Zoom meeting, and it was actually wonderful because the people that were going to talk have to be quiet instead of interrupting. They have to stop, or Zoom doesn't allow you to focus on that person. It turns off the audio and video, so it's kind of wonderful in some ways.
And I love that people hack into them and then just sit there and say nothing or just start saying a bunch of bad words.
Or uploading porn. People are uploading porn into them. Like,
you know what I love? I just love that they are so smart that they can figure out how to do that. And then they just, when they break in, they act like a fucking first grader.
Right.
Like their comedic thing and their cucky doo-doo shit fuck cunt.
How are they doing it? Are they getting on the email trail of somebody where it tells you the Zoom link? Is that how they're doing it? Or are they just randomly picking Zooms?
Listen, if they can break into the Pentagon's fucking computer, you think they can't handle your stupid fucking whatever you're going to pitch a show to the Travel Channel and they can't figure out how to get into there? Of course they can.
I don't want to see your web browser history. I know what's in there. Fucking barnyard porn.
Well, if you watch enough porn, you get desensitized and you have to keep moving.
You got to get out of humanity and move onward.
That's right. You can't reclaim your innocence. So you might as well just embrace who you became. You're Colonel Kurtz. You go upriver. You leave the program.
What's the weirdest thing you've had sex with?
Hyena porn, because they continue laughing while they're fucking.
Well, that's a great audience. I don't want anybody laughing while I'm having sex. That's a buzzkill for me. That would be like calling to talk to somebody on this show and then just berating me for 20 straight minutes before I can defend myself. I mean, I wouldn't. Listen, Bob, I wouldn't have a friend like that.
Bob, you knew how I felt about you before you asked me to be on this podcast. And once again, a through line in your career is you chose your career rather than your own personal happiness. You've been whoring yourself out since the late 80s. So why would this episode of the podcast?
No, I was lucky to get the show. I had a baby. I was lucky to be on a family program that the world loves. It's not meant for everybody. And then after that, I did what I wanted. And so that was...
You're soul has been screaming for you to live your truth, and you just keep ignoring it. And now you want to play the victim? I can't tell you how bad I feel for your wife. She must love that these days are longer because it delays your complaining because the sun's out, and she can just wait till like 8:30 before you start. I'm a failure. I don't know. What have I done with it? No, Bobby.
She calls me Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby.
And I'm crying I'm a failure?
Yes, that's what I picture you.
I picture
you in silk pajamas with your blue sport coat over them.
And I sleep in that?
And as she's flipping through the channels
on
the TV, and you're on every other channel making a residual check, and she still has to fucking cheer you up.
And am I sleeping on my back like I'm in a coffin? Like I'm just dead?
You have some sort of sleep mask.
What are you? If I'm like that,
there's something weird. There's something weird about it. Like when you go to sleep. There's something. I don't know. You sleep with socks on. There's something weird about you. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's an oxygen tent. I mean,
yeah.
Are you just?
You went to the Michael Jackson estate sale and you bought his fucking oxygen tank. Yeah, I bet you did that.
Do you think did you watch that documentary about him?
No, I don't. I don't find children getting molested entertaining. Sexual assault. Like that's why I didn't like the Tiger King. The second.
Did you watch the whole? Did you watch the whole thing?
No, I tapped out when that kid who clearly wasn't gay, and he's sitting there like everybody thought it was hilarious. It's like this guy's almost 50 years old, and he's talking to like a teenage kid, going, "What kind of porn do you watch?" That's as the boss. And what I fucking love. With all this wokeness, Me Too, enough is enough and everything, because it was a guy doing it to another. Nobody gives a fuck what happens to a guy. It's something that I have maintained forever.
And it's also displaying how a person that would be like a low-end cracker, in their opinion, would be just not have no morals, and that's okay to show because it's holding a mirror up to the people that will be incestual or just be, if it's white men taking advantage of other white men, it's just.
Although, you know something, you know what? I'm wrong on that one because there was the lesbian girl who lost her fucking hand.
Yeah.
And the guy, he's like Charles Manson. He had them so fucking buying into his bullshit that she lost her. They could have saved it, and she wasn't even thinking about her own fucking limb. She was thinking about him.
He was a cult leader, is what he was. I mean, she was drinking. Yeah. They were drinking the Kool-Aid.
So once that shit happened, I just kind of like I don't know. My wife continued to watch it, and I
watched it with my wife, but I just gave in because it was pandemic television. That thing would not have succeeded in my mind. And I mean, no one had anywhere to go. So what was the thing that everybody's talking about? Or that Love is Blind, where people propose to each other through a wall, having never seen each other. And they really believed it. They lived it. And that's like, did you ever see that?
No, but I don't watch any of those. That I started to watch that Murder Mountain. And it's like, I don't want to watch people crying about their kids that were murdered. Like,
no, I can't watch any of that shit. I can't watch Dateline. Yeah, I can't watch missing kids stuff. When the Casey Anthony trial happened, I couldn't watch any of that. And then they think that I'm like that because I did, you know, I do comedy that sometimes when I say something that puts it has a pedophilic kind of thing back in the 80s or whatever, when I did jokes like that was because it's so horrific, not because I'm not like thinking it's funny. It's not like guys going, hey, boy, I'd like to.
Are you really explaining to me that it was just a joke? I understand it's a joke.
Well, I know that we're not on the phone. I mean, we're talking on, you know, there are people listening. I know I've already got like 5 subscribers.
Bob, the fact that you had to explain your pedophilia jokes, it just makes you seem like there's some sort of guilt there. So, like, what's going on here?
Well,
you got a little hat with a propeller on it?
They're older now, and I only chose people that had lost their ability to speak. So, you know, if nobody would have heard from anybody, and nobody would be talking about Woody if his kids were mute, or they could have written it down. I don't really know. I don't have any. We're going to
I don't know,
take one more
I think-
break because I can't say goodbye to you yet. So this is just one more break.
No, you're taking one more break because you have an enlarged prostate.
No, I don't. No, I don't. And you know why I don't? I'll tell you right after this. All right. The reason I don't have, we're back. I don't have an enlarged prostate. My doctor told me this, that you have to ejaculate as much as you can onto you. He said, Bill Burr, if you can do that as much as often as you can and just cover him. Wow.
Oh, you know why? You know why? I thought
all
you were
right.
gonna say
All right.
You didn't have an enlarged prostate.
Why?
It was because it doesn't look big because it's standing next to your ego.
By the way, we're back. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I
Bob,
I love
sorry
you.
I ever
I
met
fucking
you.
love you.
I'm sorry I ever met you.
The guy that comes to my wedding twice because how about that 60th birthday party I had where we were smoking cigars out on the yard there? That was like with a lot of nice people that cared about me. You just pretended? You just pretended I like Bob because Mike Binder was there?
That was a business move. I went there to schmooze. I was just like, God, is that the guy from Get Smart?
No, he wasn't there. It was Mark Maron and Norman Lear and Jeff Garland, and it was Jeff Franklin's house. And
you just killed a bit. I was going to say that you just had all these ancient friends.
Oh, go ahead.
Norman Lear, though. My favorite thing was Norman Lear. The way he smokes a cigar, because I gave him one of those Padrones, and that thing was a 30-minute smoke for any average smoker, maybe 45. Took a couple of puffs. We, blah, 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 blah. He told me about his new Netflix series, and then, we, moved on. It's a party, right?
Right.
And I must have saw him like an hour and 10 minutes later, and he still had a third of it left and was having a conversation. It was burning. And like those guys who just really know, like those guys know how to enjoy a cigar, because I would only got 30 minutes out of that.
It takes me hours to smoke a cigar. I don't want to inhale that much. So I kind of, but you've stopped totally? Are you serious about that?
I had to, man. I had to. I don't know what happened to me, man. I never used to be like an addictive person. I think I was just more, I more like obsess about things. Like I don't have that chemical thing. Like when I quit booze, I didn't have to get a sponsor and I didn't have to go to AA. I just quit.
Right.
And I just decided like, I don't want to do this anymore. And, I'm a dad now and I'm not living for myself. And I don't want to let
your kid?
People down. I don't know. Some days I feel like she has my mannerisms, but like, it wouldn't surprise me,
So I didn't know that you gave up booze. And so, I mean, I saw you, we were somewhere, we were in the same city together and we were both having drinks and you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And have you given up meat as well?
No, I haven't done that. I did try that Impossible Burger, but there's just something wrong about it.
It's impossible. It's not made of.
I don't like that it's trying to look like meat. The fact that they try to make it look bloody.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't know anything in the plant world. I mean, you can use like beets and shit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But that liquidy, sort of bloody look about it, and it's just like
it's like raw meat. It's not like it's cooked. There's a restaurant in L.A. Called Crossroads, and it's a good restaurant. It's a vegan restaurant, but they take bean whatever and different kind of curds, and they carve it into the shape of chicken, like you're eating a chicken breast, but you're not. So it's weird that they make it look like that. It's like
my thing is if it's healthy, I don't care. But my thing is like that thing that just was something about it was like, this looks like there's some sort of food dye. I don't know why. It kind of freaked me out. So I kind of stopped eating. But I've been doing really well during this. I was already on like a diet before this whole thing started. Then it was easy to stay on the diet. because I wasn't going on the road and being in airports and hotels and shit. So
that's where you eat and drink. That's what you do after a show a lot of times.
Yeah, out of just like loneliness and depression and all of that shit. But I know that's not what this podcast is about. You want
No, that is what it's about. That's what it was supposed to be. This is reaching out to people to make them feel better. But I think you've accomplished it because you berating me, I think, makes people feel better. I mean, me being attacked for the piece of garbage that I am, that's sold out, that my soul is rancid.
You know what I like?
I'm unrequited, and I'm 150, and I'm the undead zombie of I don't know.
It's good that you knew it was a joke. It's good that you knew that was all jokes and you didn't internalize it as you rattle off everything that I said. And I also love that you thought that I didn't realize that is what the podcast's about. I'm like, but you don't want to talk about that. You're like, no, that is what this is about. This is exactly what.
No, it's when I answer seriously. That's the problem. That's my problem. Is I understand it all, but I still will answer like a fucking idiot. I have a problem. I've always had it.
Here's the thing that I worry about. I worry that my anger is going to have an effect on my child and the people around me the way anger had an effect on me. So that's my big goal. I don't want to pass that on to anybody. Like, I want it to end with me. And that was a joke I did in my act where I want to be like that dude in The Exorcist when the devil gets in him and then he just jumps out the window.
Right.
Which never really made sense because it's the devil and he goes, all right, well, now you just killed yourself, you dumb fuck. Now I'm going to go possess somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm already dead.
Right.
Sorry, I've been in Hollywood too long. I always look for the whole.
You're not in Hollywood. You're not really. You're not part of the system. But
yes, I.
You're a good actor, though. I mean, you're acting like you're sincere right now, like you care about your kids.
Hey, if this whole thing was an hour-long joke just to get me to open up so you could shit on me, that's fucking brilliant.
It took a long time. It took so long to find a window. Have you been to therapy? Have you taken care of all this?
No, I feel like therapy's for like, I don't know. I just feel like it's for like weak-kneed people that just want to fucking complain every goddamn week. It's
not complaints. I mean, I've had such a hard life. Like, everybody died and stuff, and there's been so much illness and stuff.
You ever think, Bob, they just wanted to get away from you?
I always do. I've said that. And by the way, when I go into that kind of humor, it just quiets a room. There's just nothing. I mean, crickets have heart attacks. No one even wants to make a sound.
Well, I mean, you got to guilt them. How dare you not laugh at that joke? Don't you know I've lost loved ones?
I do that much too much. All right. So what's your
I've been to therapy. I've gone to therapy. I've done the fucking.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
I wish that for my kids as well. I mean, I always say I'm a good dad now, and the only reason I say that is I stopped fucking up. But sometimes you worry, is it too late? Because my daughters are old. You know, they're like 90 because I'm so old. They're like 85.
When you say that you stop fucking up, does that mean you stop calling your kids? You stop calling your kids so now they could actually
You mean to help them
their lives?
I stayed out of their lives completely? I disappeared? Yes. No, just the opposite. I listen more. I find when my kids, and you'll see this, when one of my daughters was 16, she'd have like 9 friends over, or 7 friends, and they'd all be sleeping over in her room. And I was like, what's going on? And I was very naive to what was going on. And I was a single dad, and so they'd be at my house for the parties, and I was policing it, but I didn't know what was really going on. And it's just when I see who my kids are now, and you've met my kids, and one of them.
Wait, it was co-ed?
No,
sleepover?
It was girls, just girls. But it's still it's awkward. It's awkward, you know. And they're up all night, and I don't know what's going on. And I just feel
they're
like
doing cocaine, Bob. They're up all night. Jesus, how long you been fucking out here?
Well, the problem was they were doing mine, and that was really upsetting because that was like high grade stuff.
Some good shit.
Yeah, but that's when I was working.
Left over from your cocaine cowboy days.
Exactly. I got it from the cartel, and they're looking for me. But right now, the pandemic's keeping them off of me because they're afraid that I have the disease. But the thing that, oh, God, that's a horrible thing I just said. And I'm not cutting it out because what the hell? But I found out I'm a good dad because I see how great they are. I have amazing daughters, and it doesn't come without difficulty. But I'm scared for the two that are in New York right now.
If I could go Oprah right now, it's probably because of the work their mother did. Excuse me.
They have a good mother.
I've been talking so long I have the hiccups.
Oh my God! Do you know what? Maybe you should swallow something long and pink.
Well, sometimes scaring yourself also works. So I'll watch your last stand-up special.
I was ready to make a new one right now. Do you have one brewing in you right now? Because you're always ready to go. You must. I
don't even remember how to do stand-up. This is the longest break I've ever taken.
Do you know how long it's going to take you to do it?
I got to tell you.
Take your 5 seconds. It's going to take you.
I got to be honest with you. I don't miss doing stand-up.
Are you going? Okay, are you in an airplane bathroom right now?
I just walked upstairs. I like doing stand-up, but the fact that I could possibly run into you at the club makes me not like the entire art. I've shit on you enough. I love you, Bob. I have to go because my kid's getting up soon.
I have to go too, right? and I'll be over in a few minutes. I love you, Bill. Take care of yourself.
Okay. All right, brother. Thanks for all your help. I do feel better.
Give my love to your wife. She'll know what I mean.
Okay, I'm sure she does. All right, I'll see you.
Be well, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that was Bill Burr. That was really a casual, relaxing, very good for me. Sends me to my therapist. He's a strong man. Gave up booze, gave up cigar smoking. It's really interesting. It's quite inspiring. And to be berated that badly made me stop and think of what have I done with my life. And I'll be thinking about that probably all night. But I'm proud of what I've done. But except for this particular episode, I want to hit delete so bad. I love Bill Burr. I know a lot of you do. He's one of the funniest people alive. And I wish you all well and hope you had some laughs from listening to that guy. And sending you the best. And stay safe and do what you got to do in this thing. Rate it, review it, subscribe. And otherwise, just take care of yourselves and try to have some good times in your day. And if you're scared or you're, real worried, I'm feeling for you. And we'll all get through this and we'll move on. And it's always good to talk to Bill Burr to make you feel good about yourself. Take care, everybody. I'm going to tell you about something that I'm interested in, and that's why I'm happy they're a sponsor. It's Policygenius. They are America's leading online insurance marketplace, and their mission is to help people get insurance right by making it easy for them to understand their options, compare quotes, and buy a policy all in one place. See, sometimes you go around, you search on the web, you look for things, you talk to friends. This is all in one place what Policygenius has done. Since 2014, they've helped over 30 million people shop for life insurance, and they've placed $45 billion in coverage. Now, here's a couple facts about life insurance in case you don't get the deal. Life insurance provides a tax-free lump sum of money to your loved ones after your death so you can make sure they're able to pay everyday bills like children's college costs or final expenses or any debts or anything so they don't go to them. It's taken care of by the insurance. You choose how many years your policy will last. That would be the term. And the amount that will be paid out if you die, that would be the coverage. And something we don't want to happen, but life is life. And insurance is a good thing to have. With everything going on right now, a lot of people are asking if it's even possible to buy life insurance at all. And the answer is really short and really simple. Yes, you can buy life insurance during a pandemic. You can. You can buy life insurance in a wind tunnel. You can buy life insurance anywhere you got a cell signal where you can contact policygenius.com. And if you have loved ones depending on your income, You probably should buy it. You really should. I have it. And I'll just tell you, as an insurance marketplace, Policygenius is in contact with the life insurance companies on their platform every day. So they're keeping track of all the changes in the market so you don't have to, which means they can get you covered quickly and for the best price. And here's how it works. It's pretty simple. Policygenius compares quotes from the top life insurance companies in one place. You don't have to do this. You don't have to search and destroy and try to find the right life insurance. This does it for you. It takes just a few minutes to compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. So they're finding the best price for you. You don't have to sit there and go, I need the best price. What am I going to do? Put in best price, life insurance. You'll be there a month. This doesn't just save a lot of leg work or arm work or elbow grease or nose work. You could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. And once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. I've never actually seen red tape, but I'm telling you, they're doing it for free. So if you hit any speed bumps during the application process, they'll be there to take care of everything. So if you're one of the many people looking to buy life insurance right now, but you're not sure where to start, I'm going to tell you, do it. Head to policygenius.com. There, I said it. Policygenius will find you the best rate and handle the process completely. They'll get you and your family protected and hopefully give you one less thing to worry about. And right now, we've all got enough to worry about. And isn't it nice to have protection? I used to have it all the time, but I don't need it anymore because I reached menopause. Policygenius.com. They're sitting there waiting for you, and they're going to help you and save you time and money. And you heard it from me because I'm the one recording this.